What's going on, guys? I'm Seth G, and today I'm going to show you how I use Creality Scan using small toys. Alright, so right here we are at our home page. We're going to start a new project. We're going to name this Tutorial Small Toys. And we're going to continue. So I'm using the Raptor X. This is what the scanner looks like. And we're going to be scanning a bunch of small items today. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take these marker towers and just put these up here, like so. Okay, and the first toy that we have is this Hello Kitty toy. And this Hello Kitty toy has a hole in the bottom. So we're going to try to get a clean scan of that hole. Everything about scanning is about orientation. So we want to scan the bottom of the model, and then we'll go ahead, flip it over, and scan the rest of it. So I'm going to put this model upside down, and we're just going to position it like so. Okay. Now we're gonna bump down this resolution to 0.2, and I'm gonna put on color maps, parallel lines, and we're gonna exclude the base. Okay. Now, because I'm using the Raptor X, we do have the ability to get the color of the screen. All right, let me fix this for you guys. We want to do that. Let me fix these windows. All right. So this is what my scanner sees. We are going to start the scan. All right. I'm going to pick up all these dots. What happened? Start. Okay, we'll start the scan. Okay, and we will scan this guy until he is blue. Alright, and we're going to try to get that hole. Okay, let's see. Sometimes the cross... No, this hole's pretty deep. See, this is where the Surmoon S1 will outperform the Raptor series scanners, because as you can see, I can't scan that hole. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the turntable and let the scanner finish scanning this guy upside down. We want to get all these edges that are on the bottom that we won't be able to scan when we have them upright. All right, let me just close that part up. So we just need to get, make him blue. The more blue he is, the less holes he'll have. Or she, I guess this is a little kitty, girl kitty. Alright. That hole's gonna look ugly when we close it, but that's fine. We're gonna complete the scan right there. We're gonna clean up the model. It's using the shift and click around, and then I'm going to invert and delete everything, and then of course we'll come in and clean up the rest of the things that we don't want. All right, and then we have this part over here. And delete that. Okay, almost done. All right, so we're gonna just click the check button over here under scans. If you get pushed into the process tab, go back to the scan tab and hit fusion. You're gonna set it to 0.2 at 35%, and then we're gonna hit apply. All right, so that's what the bottom of our model looks like. Don't worry, it's fine. He's fine. I mean, the model looks horrendous right now, but it's good. We're gonna go ahead and flip our guy right side up, stand him on top of that tower, and then we're gonna go ahead and start a new scan. 0.2 parallel lines, color mapping, exclude the flat base. All right. We are going to start the scan. All right. There we go. Oop. Wants to be like that, huh? Okay. All right, so we're just gonna paint the model until it is blue. Any yellow leftover will become a hole, and we'll have to come back and fix the hole later. So we want to try to get a solid model out of this. Let's see here. Okay, it's looking good. We're almost done. We're just going to do one more pass. Okie dokie. All right, so that's good. We're going to complete that scan right there. And turn off the table. Now we're not going to move the model yet. We're just going to keep the table off, just in case we need to go back and rescan something. We don't have to do a whole new scan. We could just continue the scan from there. Again, we're going to remove the marker towers. Okay. I believe I missed some over here. All right, delete that. Perfect. We're going to click X. Okay, we're going to hit Fusion, 0.2, 35%. Please, Creality, add presets. All right, so this is our model. All right, we're going to go to Process, Alignment, and this time we're going to use Auto Align because I believe there's enough features on both these models that the scanning program will be able to align it properly, and it did. Perfect. And as you can see, the model is solid. There aren't a lot of red spots. Those red spots could be patched. So we're going to click on Exit, click on Meshing. We want low smoothing. We're using 76,000 points, so we're going to go down to 0.2 million triangles. And we're going to bump this up to 10 millimeter to close off those red holes over there. All right, so the red holes are solid, very good. And we want to edit this, and we want the bottom hole to fill up too. So we're going to bump this up to 40. All right, as you can see, it healed that. Okay, perfect. All right, so after we finish making the map, we're going to hit color mapping, the mesh, sorry. And there we have it. This is what the Hello Kitty looks like before the texture. Now, I don't always use the textures that the camera gives me. What I would do is I'd bring this into Blender and I would use the texture to just give me an idea of where the colors are, and I would color it in manually. But the mesh came out very nice. As you can see on the back of the head, there is that line there. All right, so that's how you scan small toys. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and select all these, click delete. Now we're going to scan an item that is requires manual alignment. So this toy right here, it comes from a mag block set, and it basically fits inside of a frame. So we're gonna end up 3D printing this because my son does like this piece a lot. So we're going to go ahead and start a new scan. Point 2, parallel lines, color mapping. We don't really need color mapping, but because I had the feature, I'm going to show you guys how to set it anyway. All right, so we're going to start this preview. Now I'm going to start the scan so you guys can see me adjust the color because these here, I'll just bring the RGB camera. Let me just flip that. Okay, there's the color camera. So you can see that it's fairly dark. So we're gonna brighten it up a little bit. We're gonna bring it to 600. That looks like it is. Let's go to 650. Yeah, 650 is good. Okay, so now I'm going to start the scan, and I will bring the RGB camera back down so you guys can see what it looks like while I'm scanning it. All right. Okay. All right. We want this completely blue, the top. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna position ourselves. Oh, I forgot, I'm not using the bridge. Oop, upside down. We're gonna position ourselves like this, and we're gonna turn on our turntable, and we're gonna let the turntable finish coloring in the edges of our model here. Very thin edges. But we need as much of the edge as we can, because when we manually put this together, we don't want any holes, and the holes will come from the sides of this particular model that we have here. All right, so it looks like we got rid of all the yellow. We'll stop the table here, cut the scan, and then we'll edit the mesh. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna circle, so shift click around, and then we're gonna invert and delete, and then just manually clean up the rest. Shift click and circle all the stuff you don't want, and click delete. Click OK. All right, back here we're gonna hit Fusion, 0.2, 35%, and click apply. All right, so that looks good. I like that. All right, so we're gonna flip the model over, and we're going to start a new scan. 0.2, parallel, color mapping, exclude flat base. All right. We adjusted the color in the first scan, so we won't have to adjust the color again unless the lighting's changed somehow, for some reason. So we're just gonna go ahead and start the scan immediately. All right, so we're gonna grab this, back and forth. Now you could change this to cross lines, and for wide areas, the cross lines sometimes fills in the flat areas a lot faster. but we'll switch it over to parallel lines. All right, and we'll just clean this up over here. All right, so we'll position ourselves to get the edges. We want to, all right, hold on, forgot. I am scanning without the scan bridge, so it likes to be sideways. All right, let me start it up. All right, so now we're going to capture the edges. We want to make sure all the edges are blue, otherwise those edges will turn into holes. And it's important that we get a good scan on this side because there are some compression clips that need to be printed properly. Otherwise, they're not going to fit inside of the magnetic block frame properly. But we want this edge down here done nicely so that way we can marry up the two models in the alignment process here in a second. All right, so we got the model. We're going to stop the scan there. We're going to turn off the bed but not touch the model just in case we need to come back to it. All right, and we're going to clean up the mesh. So shift click around. Make sure you get the whole model because as we invert it, we're going to delete everything around it. And then we'll come up and clean up the rest. Good. All right, delete, click OK. Here in Fusion, 0.235, and apply. All right, so when we go into process and try to align this model automatically, it's not going to work. As you can see, it placed the model on top of each other, but not properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit manual. I want, all right, so this is scan 1. That's this. This is scan 2. We want this one to face like this. Oh, come on. All right. So we're going to click on shift and we're going to add points. Now the program needs a minimum of 3 points, but we're going to do 4. All right. So now we want this blue side on this side, right? So we're going to face this one like that, and we're going to face this one like so. All right. We're going to shift click point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. And we're going to do the same exact points over here on this model. So point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. All right. And when we hit align, we now should have a completely put together model. Okay. Just like so. Click exit, and we're going to go to meshing. We have 339,000 points. So we're going to put this to 0.3, and you can put 3.3. All right, we're going to do low smoothing and click apply. Okay, so now this model is ready for 3D printing. Now, if you want to export this as a VR AR ready model, we can go ahead and click color mapping. And this should add the color back to the model. Hopefully it's the same color red because we did adjust the color earlier. It needs a little help. But basically what you do with this is you take this color, you want an idea, bring it into Blender, and then fix the colors there. I'll show you guys how to do that on another video. But we only want the mesh. So we're going to go ahead and export it. You're not going to be able to see this program, but Let me see if I can bring it down there. All right, so we're gonna call this magnetic window, and we want to save this as an STL because I want to print this later. So the new update to Creality Scan, if you just recently updated, allows you to now export your models in an STL format instead of just PLY or OBJ. All right, we want STL. It works best for our printers. So I'm going to go ahead and export it as that. And we're going to click yes. And here is our magnetic window. So let me go ahead and open this up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So we're going to... okay, so we're going to open up the program. And this is... Alright, so here you guys can see my, let me make that bigger for you guys. Alright, so this is my software for my carbon fiber printer. But this is what it looks like on the printer itself. Let's just, I don't know why it made it at such a weird angle. Let me see if I can, oops, didn't want to do that. I want to go 35. Nope, 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 nope. Maybe it was on the Z. Geez, okay, maybe it was 25 on the Z. All right, so now we need 10%. Oh, nope, 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 negative 10. All right, so another way to do this is just do that. Okay, all right. We can see those are the compression clips right there. But this looks like to be the same size as the model that we just scanned. So that's pretty good. All right. So we're going to go back and do one more scan. I have this pterodactyl, and I picked him because he has very thin wings, which people have difficulty scanning thin objects for some reason. Maybe it's because they're not using the right scanning mode. My scanning mode offers parallel and cross. I don't really use the cross lines often when I'm working with small models, just because the cross is good for larger objects. All right, so I exported this file. We're going to select all and delete our current project. All right, and we're going to go back into scans. Now, I want to scan everything on the bottom first. So everything is about orientation. So the best way to scan him is to get all the bottom pieces would be to stand him up like this, but that is not going to be possible. What I can do is take these two towers, right, and I can screw them in right here on the plate, and we can lean this guy on those towers. Now I need the markers to be shown, okay? So these markers right here are very important over here, because when we scan this guy's foot, it needs markers near the feet to be able to determine where the lasers are hitting on the object. So the dots on the plate itself is not going to be able to help me with the feet up here, because the dots are too far away, so the lasers won't know where it's scanning. So I'm adding these two dots over here, these two towers, to help me scan the feet. So I'll actually show you an example of what it looks like without scanning with the tower. So we're going to go ahead and go into preview, and I'm going to scan the feet without using these towers. I'm going to try to hide these towers during the scan. So I'm going to start here. All right, so I am in parallel mode. All right, so let me, okay. All right, so it's not picking up my dots, so let me just delete that. All right, scan the dots. Very good. All right, so here's the feet. You see, it's not capturing any of the pterodactyl because it can't see the dots. So if I zoom out a little bit, now it sees those two tower dots that I put up, and it is able to help me scan the feet now. See how the feet are coming in after I got those marker towers to see in the scanner. So we're just going to finish the feet. And then we also need the head down here. We're just going to scan the underneath the head, underneath here, the tail, the feet. Let me just scan the rest of this guy first. Okay, very good. All right, and then we'll grab him on this side. Oop. All right. Okay, very good. So let me just grab the rest of the feet. All right, very good. And then we'll grab the back. Okay, so you see how I'm scanning the back? I'm not too worried about everything. I just want to grab enough features to be able to make a solid model. But we'll be able to grab the rest of the skin here in a second. I just want to make sure the bottom parts are done because we're not going to be able to get the bottom parts again. All right, perfect. So we're going to stop the scan there. All right, let's clean him up. So we're going to have to wipe out this whole part of his wing. And I'm going to show you why we have to wipe out this whole section of his wing. All right, we're going to cut out his these marker towers, and I'm going to show you what happens when we don't cut out the rest of the wing from that marker tower. All right, so let me just do this. Clear out that. And grab all of this junk. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to, oop, I missed a little piece over there. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and fuse this 0.2, 35%, and click apply. And the reason why we have to wipe out half his wings where the towers are is because when we color map this pterodactyl, it's gonna show. Ooh. All right, we're gonna do the one-click process. It's gonna mesh it for us, and then color it in for us. So it meshed it. I'm just showing you what it looks like if you scan the towers in front of the model. Hopefully, I get a good example here. All right. Well, it didn't work. But usually what happens is the black tower projects itself onto the actual object that we're scanning. All right, so Mr. Pterodactyl is very bright in color, so we're gonna fix that on the next scan. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I am going to put this here. I'm gonna remove these towers. Okay, so we are going to start the scan again. And we are going to fix the color this time. So let me flip this for you and move this color camera up so you can see what I'm doing here. 650 was way too bright, so we're going to bring it down to 500. 500, you know what, we're going to bring it down to 450. All right. And we're going to start our scan, and that means I'm going to have to move this guy down again. And right, there we go. Scan, scan, scan. Oop. Oop, oop, oop. Yeah, I know. All right, yeah, you like to be oriented a specific way. All right, we're going to turn on the turntable and let the turntable finish coloring in this guy. All right, see how quickly it does that? Very good. So maybe one more go around. All right. Very good. Oh, I missed his wing. We're gonna have to go ahead and grab that again. Let me get his face. All right. Get his wing, the back of his leg. All right. Here he comes around. We'll fix that wing. We'll get his legs. Oop. All right, there we go. Oh, I missed his wing. Okay. So we'll just pause him right there. Okay. Come on. I lost tracking, guys. I'm gonna have to figure out where. There we are. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. Let me get his one. All right. So let's clean up this guy. Complete. All right, we're gonna shift click around him. Oop. Get that. We're gonna invert, delete everything, and then continue cleaning up this. Delete that, and then that. That, and of course this over here. Did we get? Oh, we didn't get everything. Okay. All right. I'm gonna click OK. Fusion, 0.2, 35%. Oh, no. All right. Good. All right, and we are done. All right, so let's go ahead and align both these models together. Click OK. All right, look at that. No red anywhere. Wow, no red anywhere. Perfect, guys. Besides inside the mouth, that's fine. We can heal those little bits of red. We're going to go ahead and exit. Click on meshing. We used 559,000, so 0.56. And we're going to do low smoothing, and 5mm holes is fine. And this should clean up this model very nicely. All right. We also lowered the darkness of the camera to try to match the color. Oh, guys, we need a nav ball to position our scans, please. That would be nice. So let's hit color mapping and see how the color came out. All right, so this actually came out very nicely. He just needs to be a little bit tanner, but we could fix that. But again, I'm really only interested in the mesh, not the texture. But the texture did come out okay. Uh, could be a little bit better, but you know, he's a light guy to begin with. So that's what he looks like. Um, as you can see, the scanner does a really good job picking up the details of the dinosaur itself. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something, and we'll see you guys soon.